Nancy Cordes is with the Democrats, joins us now from Buena Park, California. Nancy, again, in that sound we just heard, I want to get to California in just a moment, but we heard Hillary Clinton now referring to the fact that Donald Trump has often dismissed global warming. He has used words like myth and hoax and other words that we shouldn't repeat for a family program. But in a permit application, he has now also cited the need to build a seawall to protect a golf course of his in Ireland from the effects of global warming. Perhaps this is not an issue that he needs to worry about with his constituents, but what can the Clinton campaign do with this?
Well, I think you're going to hear about it from Hillary Clinton over and over again. It was interesting. She brought it up for the first time here in California in Riverside yesterday, and she was sort of reading the quote from a piece of paper because it's a new attack from her, and she wanted to make sure she gets it right. I assume that over the next weeks and months, she will memorize that quote, and she will be able to deliver it from memory, because this is the kind of thing that she is going to start hitting Donald Trump with. In general, the level of her attacks against Trump and the number of them that she's packing into her speeches here in California and elsewhere is increasing pretty dramatically, and she's still getting comfortable with some of that new material, trying to make it clear that she hears and sees what's coming her way, and that she is not going to take it easy when it comes to going after Trump, whether it's on global warming or any other issue like his business background.
Now to California. Averages of recent polls have shown that Hillary Clinton now leads Bernie Sanders by some 10 points. However, as these races, especially of late, have seemed to tighten within margins of error, what are the campaigns anticipating at this point?
Well, the polls have been wrong before in some of these states, and they have tended to underestimate the excitement among Bernie Sanders supporters. These are supporters who are highly motivated to get out and vote for him. So we often see Clinton leading in the polls right up until the end, and even her campaign will say that they still expect that she will lose in certain states. She was leading in Oregon, for example, up until last week, and then Bernie Sanders won by a pretty significant margin. So here in California, however, the challenge for Bernie Sanders is that independents who often favor him can vote, but it's a very complicated process for them to do so. They essentially need to ask for a special ballot to be sent back to them, allowing them to vote for the presidential candidate in the primary process. A lot of independents don't even realize that they have the right to request that special ballot. They will get it if they go to the polls on election day, but here in California, about 2/3 of the voters vote early before election day. So that is something that is working against Sanders, and state officials say already that the number of ballots that they're getting back from independents is off of the numbers that he would need. And so that is a worrying sign for the Sanders camp here.
It's also something of a snapshot now of this two-front campaign Hillary Clinton has had to run. A fairly reliable state that turns blue come November every 4 years is California. Is essentially, and perhaps the attacks on Donald Trump and climate change part of the answer, is Hillary Clinton essentially spending this much time in California right now to run against Donald Trump?
She's talking about Donald Trump, but she's running against Bernie Sanders. She would not be here in California right now if she felt completely confident about the primary. You know, even if she loses California, she's still most likely going to get the number of delegates she needs. So she doesn't need to be here, except that she knows that the optics of losing to Bernie Sanders in the largest state in the country would be pretty bad. So she is here. She's doing a 4-day swing this week, and she's still got 2 weeks to go before the primary. So even though she almost never mentions Bernie Sanders on the campaign trail, it took a sit down with Ellen yesterday, a taping that's going to air this week, for her to even talk about Bernie Sanders, only because she was asked about him by Ellen. But make no mistake, that is why she is here in California, because otherwise, as you pointed out, it's not a state that she likely needs to worry about in the fall.
Nancy Cordes with the Democrats. We appreciate it.
Sure thing.